Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Get ready for a story that sounds like it's straight out of a Hollywood movie, but I promise you, it's 100% real. What if I told you that one of the most baffling maritime mysteries wasn't discovered at the bottom of the ocean, but was found buried deep beneath a Kansas cornfield, miles from any significant body of water? Stick with me, because this is the incredible story of the steamboat Arabia. Our story begins not in a dusty field, but on the mighty Missouri River in the year 1856. The Arabia was a magnificent vessel, a 171-foot-long side-wheeler steamboat. Think of it as the 19th century equivalent of a luxury cargo liner. It was packed to the gills with an astonishing 200 tons of supplies destined for the frontier towns upstream, everything from French perfume and fine china to tools, clothing, and even pre-packaged meals. It was a floating treasure trove, a snapshot of life on the edge of civilization. On September 5, 1856, the Arabia was chugging along near what is now Parkville, Missouri. The journey was routine until, in a sudden, violent moment, the boat struck a massive, submerged walnut tree snag. The impact was catastrophic. The snag ripped through the hull like a can opener, and the powerful current of the Missouri began to pull the grand vessel down. Panic ensued. But miraculously, all 150 passengers and crew managed to escape to shore. The only casualty was a lone mule, tragically tied to a piece of equipment on deck. Within minutes, the magnificent Arabia, with all its precious cargo, vanished beneath the muddy waters of the river, seemingly lost forever. Now, here's where the story takes its most unbelievable turn. The Missouri River, known affectionately and menacingly as the Big Muddy, is a force of nature. It's constantly carving new paths, shifting its course, and depositing tons of silt. Over the decades, the river changed its direction dramatically. The spot where the Arabia sank was slowly, year after year, covered by layers of mud, silt, and soil. Eventually, the river had moved a full half-mile to the east, and what was once the riverbed became fertile farmland. A cornfield grew over the grave of the lost steamboat, and for over a century, farmers planted and harvested their crops, completely unaware of the time capsule buried just 45 feet below their feet. The legend of the lost steamboat persisted, whispered among locals and treasure hunters. But it was Bob Hawley, an air conditioner repairman with a passion for history, who became obsessed with finding it. Along with his sons, David and Greg, and their friends, Jerry Mackey and David Luttrell, they formed a team of modern-day treasure hunters. They weren't looking for gold and jewels. They were looking for history. Using old maps, a proton magnetometer, and a healthy dose of determination, they began their search. After many false starts, they pinpointed the likely location in 1988, right in the middle of a Kansas cornfield. Imagine that conversation with the landowner. "Excuse me, sir. We believe there's a 171-foot steamboat buried under your corn, and we'd like to dig it up." Fortunately, the landowner agreed, and the great excavation began. This was no simple dig. They had to bring in heavy machinery, including a 100-ton crane. The main challenge wasn't just the dirt, it was the water. They were digging below the water table, so they had to set up a system of 20 irrigation wells that pumped out 20,000 gallons of water per minute, 24 hours a day, just to keep the site from flooding. As they dug deeper, they first hit the top of the paddle wheel. The excitement must have been electric. Then, slowly, carefully, the ghostly outline of the Arabia emerged from the mud. But the real treasure was what they found inside. Because the steamboat was sealed in an oxygen-free environment, entombed in mud, the cargo was perfectly preserved. It was like opening a time capsule from 1856. They found crates of champagne and wine, still liquid. Jars of pickles, still green and crisp. They uncovered thousands of articles of clothing, from leather boots to silk dresses, all in pristine condition. There were tools, guns, dishware, children's toys, and even the skeletal remains of that poor mule. The sheer volume and state of preservation were astounding. It wasn't just a shipwreck. It was a perfectly preserved slice of American frontier life. The Hawley family knew they had found something too important to sell off piece by piece. They decided to create a museum to share their discovery with the world. They painstakingly cleaned and preserved every single one of the over 200,000 artifacts. Today, you can visit the Arabia Steamboat Museum in Kansas City, Missouri, and see this incredible collection for yourself. You can walk the full-sized recreation of the main deck, see the giant paddle wheel, and gaze at display cases filled with items that look like they were made yesterday, not over 160 years ago. It is a testament to the passion and vision of a family who believed a legend and unearthed a national treasure from the most unlikely of places. It's a powerful reminder that history is all around us, sometimes buried right under our feet, just waiting to be rediscovered. So what do you think? Is this not one of the most incredible discovery stories you've ever heard? A sunken ship in a cornfield. It just goes to show you that truth is often stranger than fiction. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.